of the board of the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum, Rick Kane. Rick, take it away.
Hi, guys. Thank you for calling in today and welcome to the webinar. On behalf of the Florida Attractions Association, I'd like to welcome you aboard. You have become members of one of the greatest organizations I've ever had the pleasure of being associated with. I've been involved in the Florida Attractions Association since 2004. I had the pleasure and honor of serving as chairman of the board in 2012 and 2013, and I am very honored to do that again this year. We are the largest attractions association in the United States, or tourism association in the United States. As you know, tourism is the largest industry in the state of Florida, largest employer, and Florida is the #1 vacation destination in the world. So this group of folks that you have joined are some of the best in the business and the leaders in this industry. And the strength of this organization are the relationships you will make and the time spent with us. I can't see the on-screen thing yet, but I know we're going to talk about, there should be a screen coming up that shows my picture, and along with that of our president and CEO of the association, Bill Lupfer. And he's a wonderful guy. We spend a lot of time together, and he has led this organization brilliantly for many, many years. Then is Mike Donaldson. He's our takes care of our members, and he's an event planner expert, and he has been a very good friend of mine for many, many years. His office is in Tallahassee, and Daniel Douglas is our communications guy, and a very talented guy as well. So all of us, you can call at any time if you have questions or needs or concerns, or just want to know more about the organization. After that, I should tell you that the association is run by a board of directors, and those directors come from all over the state, and we usually do usually 2 terms. But you have representation from every part of the state. You have representation from the smallest mom and pop attractions up to the biggest players in the industry. And I don't have to tell you who those folks are, but we all sit at the same table. We all share our expertise. We all learn from each other, and we rely on each other. And Bill was going to tell you a little more about the strengths of the organization and the things we do. So welcome aboard. We got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to turn it over to Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Very good. I appreciate it, Rick, and appreciate the kind words. We really are a family here, and the more time you spend with the Florida Attractions Association, the more folks you meet and the closer you grow together, the more resources that you'll have as an attraction professional when you have issues or concerns or need assistance. And that's one of the main things that we do on behalf of our members, is connecting people who have a need with folks that perhaps have already gone through a particular situation that need some advice on how to deal with something. So we are happy to do that. And we're going to dive in deeper to the FAA in just a couple of minutes, but there's a couple of other organizations I wanted to chat about real quick because they're related. First of all, the Florida Attractions Scholarship Foundation. And it is administered by a board of directors made up of representatives of our industry, also different board of directors. And their purpose is to raise funds and then to use those funds for scholarships for college students studying hospitality-related fields in the state of Florida. We started this in 2013. And we've been very successful so far in paying out over $25,000 to 42 participants. That's not counting what we'll be doing this year. And if you attend our annual conference, you'll meet this year's 4 scholarship winners. They each receiving $2,000 for a total of 8. So that puts us at about $32,000, $33,000 so far that we've given away the scholarships. And this year, starting last year, this was a benefit specifically for you, our FAA members, because to qualify, an additional qualifier now is they are employees of or dependents of employees of FAA members. So it's an exclusive benefit to you and your employees and their dependents. The cycle begins in January. And we've completed our selection process for this year. And then next January, we'll start again with application process. And we certainly hope you'll encourage your employees and their dependents who are studying hospitality fields to participate and apply for one of our scholarships. The other organization that's related but not directly a part of is the Florida Attractions Political Action Committee. The FAA is involved extensively in advocacy efforts, primarily issues related. The PAC is different because it's involved directly in political campaigns of candidates running for public office, primarily the Florida legislature. Last year, which was an election year, the Florida Attractions PAC paid out about $26,000, which was a record amount, to 13 candidates. We maxed out at $2,000 each, which is Florida law. And these are candidates who have either shown in the past their support of Florida tourism, or they pledged their support if they're not an incumbent. So you'll be hearing more about the FA PAC and the Florida Attractions Scholarship Foundation. They're related organizations, they're sister organizations, but they're not exactly the same as the Florida Attractions Association. So let's dive a little deeper into the FAA, and to kick us off, our communications manager, Daniel Douglas, is going to talk us through some of the communication methods that we employ. Daniel?
Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you can see on the screen there. I'm going to show you a little bit about some online resources available to you as an FAA member. The first one, and probably the biggest, is our association's website. So floridaattractions.org. This is where you can find all updates on our upcoming events, news. You know, we just got, as Bill mentioned, we just got out of legislative session. So, weekly we were posting updates on certain bills that are affecting the industry and things like that. So when you go to floridaattractions.org, you'll see the main page. The biggest things happening currently at the association are usually on the top rotator. Right now we've got our annual conference, which Mike will talk more about next month, and legislative updates. And here is an important one. If you go to the Welcome Home, you can see directions on how to access your member account. When you join, you provided us with your contact information, and Mike puts your stuff into a database. So you can actually sign into floridaattractions.org, and you can see some additional benefits that are for members only. So here, it gives you a little direction. If you go to sign in, you can use your email address that you provided us. That's what it'll work under. And as you see here, anybody can view the homepage. They can view events, news. They can learn about the foundation, more about the association itself. And there's also a join us page where people can go and learn more about membership. And also for you, this is a resource. You can learn more about the different levels of membership and things like that. So when you sign into your account, assuming it's working, when you sign in, it's not letting me sign in. Anyway, so when you sign in, you'll get a couple of additional tabs. One will be benefit tab. So if you're a primary attraction member, you'll see the VIP benefit, which is for 3 reps at all of our member attractions. And then there's also the attraction share benefit, which many of our attractions participate in. I'll show you that site in just a second. But also, there's also a government tab where you can see, you can keep up. We have a live bill tracker, which is pretty cool. You can see where each bill is in the House and how it's progressing. There's also, you can get your legislative updates on there as well. And also there's a Facebook group that you can join. You can search Florida Attractions Association members, and it's a closed group. So all you got to do is request to join, and I'll accept you. And this is a cool page. It's pretty active. You can, if you have a question for your fellow members, there's about 145 members in the group. So, you can get a quick answer on things like, hey, does anybody know any good, vendors for this, or or if you just want to share news about your attractions with your fellow members, that's a good way to do that as well. As far as communications go, we use Constant Contact for most of our communications. We send out 1 to 2 emails a week. Sometimes if it's real busy, like when we were sending out calls to action during the legislative session, you might have gotten several more. But so if you're not getting our emails, check your junk. It comes from Constant Contact. And or if you think you might have unsubscribed, you can contact me and we'll see about getting you resubscribed to the mailing list. And then you can always go to .org and see what's going on. So if you hadn't heard about a event that is coming up, you can go to .org and it'll all be on here for you. So the attraction share, if you're on the call and you're part of a primary attraction, this is a good resource for you and your employees. So I manage a website. You just go attractionshare.com. So this is a comprehensive list of all of the attractions that participate in the program. And as you can see, if you click on the more information for any of the attractions, you'll see what level they participate at, and depending on the level your attraction participates at, it tells you what your benefit is. I know a lot of people have asked if this is printable. If you see on the top left, you can click on that link, and it'll show you. You can print this list actually, and this is a good resource for your employees that don't have internet access or would just want a comprehensive list. So here's a list of all the attractions that participate in their various levels. And there's also a little chart that tells you exactly what you get where. So it's a nice little resource for your employees. We're not a marketing organization, but there is a little bit of marketing that we do for our attraction members. One of them is FloridaAttractions.com. Now, this website, if you're a member of the Florida Attractions Association, you're on this website. You can search by city. There's a geo tracker, so as you can see, we're here in Tallahassee, so it's telling me the closest FAA member attraction in the area. So it's a nice little resource. Since we launched this newer site in November, we have just over 70,000 unique visitors. So it's not it's not huge, but it is something. So that's just a little bit of marketing we do, and it accompanies basically our official guide map, which you're in if you are a Florida Attraction Association member in good standing. So this is the 2019 official guide map. It hit the stands at all the turnpikes and visitor centers and hotel lobbies throughout the state of Florida. You'll find it there in the rack. We also have a South Florida attractions map that's an additional fee, but it's offered to people with attractions in South Florida. So that's the little bit of marketing we do on your behalf as a member. But as Rick and Bill were mentioning, it's our 70th year, so it's a very big year. We're actually doing the most events we've ever done. So Mike's going to talk a little bit about the events, opportunities where you can actually, this is where you get the most benefit as a member, meeting with other attractions, meeting with supplier associates and things like that. So I'm going to turn it over with Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to walk you through all of our annual events of the Florida Attractions Association, starting with our annual golf tournament, which is presented by the Florida Attractions Scholarship Foundation. And this is held always in the Orlando area, always in the fall, September or October. It's coming up this year, October the 11th, at the Falcons Fire Golf Club in Kissimmee. This is a great event. It actually draws about 100 or more golfers every year, and this is a combination of attractions all around Florida with a heavy concentration of members in the Central Florida area, as well as suppliers. A lot of hoteliers, a lot of folks all in the tourist industry turn out for this big day. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to take it incredibly serious. It's really a networking event. You don't have to be a professional golfer. And we have a lot of fun with, luncheon and award ceremonies and prize giveaways. So you'll be seeing information on the golf tournament coming up. Our next event is our FAA Networking Breakfast. This is an annual event that's actually complimentary to our members, attractions, and associates. And this is always held during the week of the big IAAPA Expo, which is always in Orlando at the Orange County Convention Center. This is on Thursday, November 21st. You do not have to be a registered Expo exhibitor or attendee at IAAPA to attend our FAA Networking Breakfast. So this will be held up on the second or third level of the convention center in a specified meeting room that we'll let you know. And this is a 2-hour 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. drop-in breakfast. It's hosted by our board of directors, very casual, a great way to meet a lot of suppliers, both members and non-members. A lot of them are Expo exhibitors, but a lot of them are just our members in the area and in and around Florida that are attending this breakfast. So moving along to our next event, which is actually a fairly new event for the FAA. This is called Networking Night. And this is 7 different events that are held all around the state of Florida. We started this about 2 years ago, and it's really become very, very popular. Again, a complimentary event to our members for attractions and associates. It just gives everybody another opportunity all around the state. For those of you that are not in Orlando, not attending the golf tournament or IAAPA Networking Breakfast, this is held in your local area. So we've got 7 locations. This will be held September, October, and November of 2019. And again, it's just a 2-hour relaxed social mixer hosted by one of our local member attractions in your area. And it's a great time and a good way to meet a lot of new folks. Our attraction regional forums are very important. We've actually held these for, I think, about 21, 22 years now. They used to be known as backyard forums. These are specially designed meetings just for attractions. And we hold these in 4 different cities in Florida every early February. And the FAA staff actually leaves our Tallahassee office and goes on the road for a full week to present these. These are very important meetings and present really an open forum for you all, the attractions, to talk about whatever issues are affecting your industry and your business at the time, and looking ahead as well. Anything from sales and marketing, group sales, international visitors, problems with guest experiences, great experiences working with your local DMOs. And you'll be seeing information on dates coming up for February 2020. These are the cities that we'll be locked into, and you'll be seeing more information on that as well. Okay, Florida Tourism Day is a very important day that is always held in the second week of legislative session here in Tallahassee, being the capital of Florida. And this is a day, quite frankly, that is our most important day to emphasize the importance of the tourism industry to state government, to the legislature, and always promoting continued funding, increased funding for Visit Florida, our state's marketing organization. This will be on January 22 up in Tallahassee next year. Session is actually early next year, from January to March. Usually Florida Tourism Day is held in March. This will be in January next year. And it's a full day. We keep you busy with briefings at the state capitol, and go into a lunch. And then we have individual appointments. You'll travel up to the state capitol from the Civic Center with attendees from your region of Florida to visit senators and representatives from your area. And it's sponsored by a number of tourism industry associations, with the FAA among them, and Visit Florida, all having a stake in the tourism industry. Okay, and every 2 years, usually not every 2 years, the FAA designs a 2-day workshop focusing on sales and marketing specifically for attractions in Florida. We're actually just getting started promoting this and developing the content, the topics. You'll be seeing more information on this coming up in the next couple of months. This is a really, really nice targeted educational event for our attractions, and it'll be held in Orlando, October 8 and 9. And you'll be seeing more info on this. Moving ahead to our next event is this will be the second time we've done the TNT appointment show. This is the tour and travel appointment show that we held for the first time at the very end of our annual conference last year in Naples. And this will also be held in Orlando. And this is a reverse trade show where we have the sellers are our attractions and our DMOs. The buyers are actually tour operators and ticket resellers that are hungry for your business and want to find out what you guys do and what you can offer the buyers. So this is really exciting. You'll be seeing more information on this. Again, we have a whole week of events that particular week in Orlando. So hold on and you'll see more info coming up on the TNT appointment show. All right, I've saved the most exciting thing, the largest thing for the last. This is our annual conference. So every year, for all of you that are new to the association, our largest event is our 3-day annual conference. And this is always held usually mid-May to mid-June every year. We rotate to different regions of Florida. We've held it all around the entire state. This year, coming up next month, June 9 through 12, the conference will be held in Miami at the Trump National Doral. It has a different theme every year, and being of the 70th anniversary of the FAA, it's hard to believe, going back to 1949, but our theme this year is Celebrate 70 Back to the Future, and we are going to keep you very busy. You've got to attend this if you have not ever attended an FAA conference. It's 3 days, jam-packed with education sessions, 12 breakout sessions. We have a whole afternoon devoted to industry roundtables. We're going to have rotations based upon region of Florida, type of attraction, all kinds of topics. It's a great opportunity to meet face-to-face with not only your other attraction colleagues, but a large number of our industry suppliers will be there. We have a ballroom devoted to what we call the Networking Center, which is exhibitors and all of their happy to talk to you about their products and services, as well as actually a very exciting silent auction, which is a really important and exciting aspect to our conference every year. You'll be able to bid on hotel stays and a whole bunch of business services, gift items from gift shops from our attractions, all kinds of materials. We have a lot of fun at our conference. The emphasis is always on networking, but we also keep you very busy. We provide 6 meals for your registration fees. The only thing that's not included is a Monday night. It's called the Flavors of Doral, and that'll be a Dutch treat dinner where you sign up ahead of time to go to different restaurants in the Doral area, very, very close to the hotel property, and you'll sign up for different tables. A great networking experience. And then Tuesday, the final day, June 11th, the last education session ends at about 4:30 p.m. And then all of our attendees will board motorcoach transportation from the hotel, and we're going to travel out to Miami Seaquarium. And we're going to have a great event that night with dinner, activities, a lot of interesting, unusual things to do at Miami Seaquarium. Great for your family. You're encouraged to bring your spouse and your children. And then we'll come back to the hotel by about 9:30 that night. Any questions about the annual conference? Okay. I'm going to wrap things up by just letting you know that I also handle the database and updates with all the database at the FAA. If any of you have new employees or if anyone's left your business, please do let me know. Shoot an email to me and I'll update our database. If there's any questions about membership benefits, how to access any info on the websites, whether it's Attraction Share, VIP benefit, or FloridaAttractions.org, Daniel and I are always here in Tallahassee and available to answer your questions by email and phone. And I'm going to turn things over back to Rick Kane.
Thank you, Mike. Again, apologies for my lateness. I had a little technical glitch, and part of me suspects that it may be user error. But we're delighted you're with us. Again, we're celebrating 70 years this year. It's a big birthday party. And again, the strength of this organization is in the relationships you'll build. I told the associates that a good buddy of mine, Steve Geis, used to be the operations director down at Kennedy Space Center. He's now the operations director at Monticello up in Virginia, but we still see him every year at the networking breakfast at IAPA. And Mary Altman, who used to be at World Golf Hall of Fame, comes back for the annual conference every year. We are a close-knit community in spite of the fact of the size of our organization. And we get face-to-face time with each other. And so the annual conference is the very best time and the best investment you can make. And I'm not just saying that to drive business. It really is worth your while to come and join us and get to know your fellow members of the association. And the Attractions Regional Forums hit right about at a halfway point through the year, where you can touch base again with the people in your region. And not only that, you can attend any of them you want to. Many times I will attend the one in St. Augustine and go to the one in Orlando just so I can hear what's going on in another place. So it's a wonderful organization, storied history, just terrific people. We're delighted you've joined us. We're delighted you're here, and I look forward to seeing you at the annual conference. And I'm going to turn things back over to Bill Lupfer for questions, I believe.
Yeah, so we've left a lot of information for you all this afternoon, and we're always available, Rick, Mike, Daniel, or myself, to take your calls and to walk you through anything that you need or to provide resources for you. But I'm just curious if anyone on the line right now has any questions they'd like to ask us.
A lot of silence out there. Any questions?
Yeah, I'll take that as. All right. Well, we'll take that as a no. But we are available anytime. Give us a call, shoot us an email. That's what we're here for, is to assist you and to serve you. So thank you for the opportunity. Rick, thank you for your time this afternoon. Mike and Daniel, good job up in Tallahassee. And most important, thank you to you, our FAA members, for the confidence that you placed in us. And we want to earn that confidence every day. If there's anything we can do to serve you, just let us know. With that, we hope to see you June 9th in Miami, and have a great afternoon.